Four Corners is coming after part 2. So, as we said, this parable is really a parable about two sons. And so we're going to continue on and talk about the older son now. And so if you have your Bibles, once again, open up to Luke 15, starting in verse, where are we, 20, not 11, there we go, 25. Now his older son was in the field, and as he came and drew near to the house, he heard music and dancing, and he called one of the servants and asked what these things meant. And he said to him, "Your brother has come, and your father has killed the fattened calf, because he has received him back safe and sound." But he was angry and refused to go in. His father came out and entreated him. But he answered his father, "Look, these many years I have served you, and I never disobeyed your command. Yet you never gave me a young goat, that I might celebrate with my friends. But when this son of yours came, who has devoured your property with prostitutes, you killed the fattened calf for him." And he said to him, "Son, you are always with me, and all that is mine is yours. It was fitting to celebrate and be glad, for this your brother was dead and is alive. He was lost and is found." Here's what happens a lot of times as Christians. When we first become a Christian, we're a lot like the younger son. We recognize our need, and we have been humbled and humiliated, and we recognize our need for God's grace and his love and his mercy, and we are thankful for it. But as time goes on, and as the Holy Spirit starts working in our lives, and we start conquering some of these sins in our lives, and we start serving more at church, going on mission trips like the youth group, serving in ministries at the church, and doing all these things, we start seeing how righteous we are becoming, and we look at someone else and we say, "Man, I am way more righteous than them." And this comparison game starts to happen with us, and it's something that as Christians we have to fight against. It's kind of like this. I'm going to call Eli up. So I want you guys to imagine that righteousness is, we'll come back here. Righteousness is displayed by how tall you are. So who would be more righteous in this situation, Eli or myself? Obviously Eli. He's a good foot taller than me. I'm 5'6" with the shoes on. And so Eli's a lot taller than me. And let's say that righteousness, you can see how righteous someone is by how tall they are. It is clear that Eli's more righteous than me. Eli, I'm going to ask you some questions. And you can use that mic. Can you reach the top shelf of the cabinet?
Generally, yeah, probably.
Yeah? Okay. All right, I can't. I have to, one of my favorite things in the house is a step stool. I bring it around everywhere because I can't reach high things. Eli, so you play basketball here in the gym pretty regularly. Can you dunk the ball?
I can here.
Okay, all right. So he can dunk the ball. And let's say that we're about to have a jumping contest, okay? So let's say, see who can jump the highest, Eli or myself. And then I'm going to let you guys, since I'm part of the competition, I think it's fair for me to judge the winner. So I'm going to let you guys decide on the winner of this jumping contest, on who is more righteous by who can jump the highest, okay? And so on 3, we're going to jump, and you guys are going to judge. And remember, my feelings get hurt really easily, so, at least one person vote for me. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, jump. Okay. All right. And so we're just going to go by show of hands. Who thinks that I won? All right, one person. And who thinks that Eli won? All right, everyone. All right, give Eli a big round of applause. And here, Eli is clearly more righteous than me. He can jump a lot higher than I can. He can reach things on the top shelf. He can touch the rim of the basketball hoop. Hoop? Yeah, that's what it's called. You say, I don't even know because I never get invited to basketball. I wonder why. And so he is way more righteous than me. And the problem that we make sometimes as Christians is that we think that how high you can jump, being able to jump the highest, is the goal of Christianity. We think that when you can jump the highest out of everyone, you have reached it. And you are the most righteous person, and you start judging others that can't jump as high as you. But the reality of the situation is that the goal isn't how high you can jump. Yes, we should all be striving to become taller and become more righteous and to be jumping higher and higher and higher. And we should all be striving for that, but the goal isn't how high you can jump. The goal isn't being able to jump the highest. The goal isn't even being able to jump up and touch this light or this ceiling, which is impossible to do. The goal isn't Mount Everest or being able to jump and touch the moon. The goal is being able to jump and touch the literal sun, as in like that hot, fiery ball in the sky. Like it is impossible for anyone to do. Anyone who gets close to it is going to perish. Like it doesn't matter if you're a foot taller than the next person. You are still impossibly far from the goal. The only way to get to the goal is through Jesus, the Son, S-O-N. And as Christians, a lot of times we start doing this comparison game. And we start thinking that we are so righteous because we can jump the highest out of everyone that we know. And we start looking down on people that can't jump as high as us. And for some of us, we become like the older son, where we even start to think that God owes us something. We think, God, I am doing all of these things for you. Look how righteous I am. You owe me. This was the mistake of the older son. He was comparing his righteousness to the unrighteousness of his younger son. And he thought he was doing so well that the father owed him. And when we get to this point, we are standing outside, fuming and angry at God because he isn't giving us what we think we deserve. And God, the Father, is inviting us in to enjoy the blessings that he has for us. So where does that leave us this morning? There's three things that I hope you take away this morning. And the first is that we must become humble. We must live in humility. Andrew Murray, in his book, Humility, he has this quote. He says, "Pride must die in you, or nothing of heaven can live in you." We must adopt this posture of humility and let the pride in us die so that heaven and Christ can live in us. And so how do you do that? How do you become more humble? How do you live in this posture of humility? I think one thing that you can do is you can go and do something that is out of your comfort zone. Go do something that you're scared of. Go do something that makes you uncomfortable. This could mean going and sharing your faith with a neighbor or a family member that you know just wants nothing to do with God. Go and do something that makes you uncomfortable, where you have to rely on God and His strength and His power and not your own. And when we continually do things that make us uncomfortable, do things that we have to rely on God, I think we start to adopt this posture of humility, because we understand that we can't do everything on our own and we need God and His strength. And so go and do something uncomfortable, something that makes you scared, something where you have to rely on God this week. The second thing is stop comparing. Stop comparing yourself to others. So stop comparing your righteousness to other people. And one of the best ways I find to do this is seek out being with people that are different than you. When you seek out being with someone that's different than you, like it just forces you to stop comparing, because your eyes are opened to different ways and so forth. Like seek out someone that is maybe could be a mentor for you, that is in that next stage of life that can impart wisdom to you, or seek out someone that you can be a mentor to, that's maybe younger and in the previous stage of life. Seek out someone that is maybe in a different tax bracket than you. Go and serve at a homeless shelter. Go and be with someone that doesn't look like you physically. When we start being around people that don't look like us and don't act like us, it makes it harder and harder to compare our righteousness to theirs. Because you learn that people are different. And where you may be righteous in one area and they struggle in that area, they may be way more righteous in another area where you struggle. And the only way to discover that is to continually be around people that are different from you. And the final point is, in a church this size, I know that there are people here that have a prodigal son or daughter, or someone that they care about deeply. Someone who has made reckless decisions and are far from God. Someone that you care about so deeply, and you just want them to know and experience God's love. Pray for them fervently this week. Continue to pray for them fervently. We have a God that is active and alive and is all-powerful and is all-knowing, but is also loving and personal. And it is my hope that you are encouraged this week, knowing that our God is actively pursuing your prodigal son or your prodigal daughter that you love and want to see come to God. And so here's my prayer, is that a lot of times in those relationships, they can be strained. And so my prayer for you specifically this week is that healing can be made in that relationship, and that their eyes will be opened to the love of the Father. We're going to be moving into a time of Four Corners prayer now. And I think this would be a great time to seek out someone that is different from you and get to know them and pray with them.